Hi, my name's Nina and I love sketchbooks. Okay, this is a sketchbook from May 2017. One of my usual plain bad boys. These are just some notes that I made about what I was wearing that day. This is what I wore today. So just drawing for the sake of drawing, not for any particular reason. It says here, the other day after a shower, I went crazy and flipped my parting the other way to give the other parting a bit of a break and promote hair growth. Okay, nice to know I'm taking note of these things. What is next? Here is a pencil drawing of a random girl, not based on anyone. I remember actually I made this up, just drew it from my head in a green soft kind of pencil. This is fun, I completely forgot about this. This was during a time I really was interested in developing kind of graphic novels and comic style panels as a different format for my work. Something I didn't have much experience in. Here I've just taken quite a mundane topic, which is a girl being frustrated with her hair. There's a lot of hair in this book, a lot of talking about hair and clothes. Here I've done the first panel as a girl staring in the mirror at midnight, having a kind of existential crisis about her hair, it seems. I hate my hair. Little sound bites, wondering how she can improve her hair, what she can do to change things up. And eventually getting so frustrated, undoing it all and back to where she started. Staring at the mirror, frustrated. Now this seems to be a kind of daily diary I did over the course of a week, I think it was. Started on a Sunday and I documented what I was wearing each day. So here it's hot, wearing a big straw hat and sunglasses. Monday, even hotter today, it says. Tuesday, started the day with a sea swim. Wednesday, it's so hot today, 28 degrees at least, Celsius that is. So yeah, these are quite fun little mini self-portraits with a little bit of context in it. I quite like how I kind of just invented this brief for no particular reason at all, just as a way to make content and to do something daily. And at the end of it, you have this kind of collection, which is quite fun. This is a journal style page. Notes taken from a weekend away. A close friend of mine got married and I went back to my hometown to celebrate and attend the wedding. So here are some little motifs and little references to the event that weekend. So I've just illustrated some highlights and written about it all. I like this format of having text in the middle, and rather than it just being a simple text entry, I really like plucking out parts of what I've written about or parts I didn't get to write and refer to them as little visual signifiers for that time. International Cat Day. These were some last minute ideas for a piece I wanted to make to celebrate International Cat Day. So I've done some little rough thumbnails here just in my fine liner, playing around with how to show the crossover between a girl and a cat. And here I've merged some features, so it's sort of girl's face but with cat ears and face and eyes. Here there's a cat draped over a girl. Here it's on her head. I think I went for that one in the end. And it's quite nice on a lot of the pages. I've treated the day as a kind of heading, and this is something I like to do a lot, even now. I find a really good warm-up for when you start a page in your sketchbook or just start the day. I find the best thing is just to start writing something or drawing something. So here I've just quite painstakingly written out Thursday in quite a neat hand-rendered font, and I've just done a little bit of writing about where I was. So I've said here it's 10:20 AM and I'm sat up in Debenham's cafe overlooking the sea. The waves are rough and it's rainy outside. Droplets cling to the leaky single glazed windows and a gloomy but cosy light is thrown across the almost empty restaurant. Right in front of me, facing west, Hastings Pier is faintly visible through the mist. So yeah, really nice little moment, sat there on my own, making notes like I was writing a journal. It's quite a nice way to warm up for the day. This is a drawing of the building where the Apple store on Regent Street is. This was the date that I did an event. It was part of the Apple Sketchwalk, trying out the iPad Pro for the very first time actually. This was when I was first introduced to it, and yeah, got me really interested in the iPad Pro. That's where it all began. Now this page is similar to the journal page I was just showing you of that weekend away, but this time it's taking a subject which was this exhibition that I went to, Revilius & Co, The Pattern of Friendship. This was an art exhibition showing the work of Eric Revilius at I think this was at the Turner Gallery in Eastbourne. And here's just some writing about the exhibition, how I responded to it, how it made me feel. And here around the edges are these little motifs drawn with the fine liner pen, but also with this kind of Conte crayon to bring in a texture, bring in something else and soften the illustrations a bit as well. Here are some character designs for a campaign I worked on with Wateraid about toilet poverty in the world, in developing countries. Here I'm planning the pieces that I was making as part of this exhibition, and these are the 3 characters that I wanted to feature in each piece. I'm doing colour tests here as well and planning how it's going to look, the sort of palette I'd be using. Wateraid also asked if I would design the logo for the exhibition. Not something I'd usually do that commonly. Here is a drawing I did on a train, a self-portrait. And this is done with, I think, coloured pencils, but this looks really smudgy. But I think it is just quite soft coloured pencils. But anyway, there's some annotations here which try to capture the feeling of being on a train. Who is drinking Red Bull? Trying not to spill coffee all down myself. Hashtag wobbly train concerns. Why did I wear these jeans? I hate going backwards. Can't stop getting awkward eye contact. And you can see here I've been very self-referential by drawing a mini version of the portrait inside that book. Art imitating life. Oh, it's a shame it's smudged, but here are some motifs of little Victorian trinkets. This was for a job with ITV TV channel to promote the TV series Victoria, all about Queen Victoria. So I took one of Queen Victoria's quotes and surrounded it with a ring of motifs. And here I am just testing out some of those motifs, the kind of Victorian imagery that would have been popular at the time, looking at those kind of shapes that would have been around, especially with jewellery and little trinkets. And that's about it that I wanted to show today. Hope you enjoyed that sketchbook tour, and I'll see you for another one next time.